Okay, so so I'm gonna have one of those uneasy talks that I normally don't like to have, and some of it's kind of political. But I've been voting for the liberals for like the last several years. I've been voting for the liberals to try, to try to get Joe Biden into office and to think it's going to be a better life for everybody and a better situation and stuff like that. But um, so the last couple of years I've been voting for the last election I voted for the liberals. The last couple of years, Joe Biden was already in office, but I had voted for the liberals and or the Democrats like Joe Biden and stuff, which is how he got into office. But I didn't really know much about Joe Biden's policies. I only voted a couple of times, on like at least one or two major elections and some of the other stuff. But um, apparently, apparently Joe Biden basically, is who I ended up voting for. Um, but I ended up very much regretting, I ended up very much regretting voting for Joe Biden. I mean, I regret voting for Joe Biden. I actually now looking at him and looking at the recent presidential debate, I really kind of I really don't think he should even be president. I think he needs to step down and step down gracefully and get another person to run for the presidential campaign because I don't know if that's even possible to do, but I mean, he really can't, he surely shouldn't be running at his age if he has that many mental problems at an old age where he can't really function. So, um, but no, the thing is, I'm neither Democrat nor am I liberal nor am I Republican. I'm on neither party. I'm really unaffiliated. I will. I mean, if I could show you my voting records, I would because I'm really unaffiliated with any party. I've been voting kind of Democrat, but or liberal, but I can obviously always change that because I'm not affiliated. I'm not affiliated with any party, and I don't choose to affiliate myself with a party. Probably because I'm a truth seeker, and I don't believe that I don't believe that everybody I was going to be voting for is going to hold the truth. Who I'm going to vote for this next election, I'm not really going to say, but I'm not really going to say because I don't really know personally. I don't know if I even want to go near any political people and have to vote and stuff like that. But I will say that you know Trump really whooped Biden's ass in the presidential debate. In the presidential debate, Trump really gave us all to beat Biden in the presidential debate, and Biden made himself kind of look like a fool at his old age, standing up there staring out into space, and people getting really worried about him and etc. Like is he really listening? Is he having a seizure? You're like what the fuck's going on with Biden? So I mean, I'm not gonna say I mean people I mean I honestly at this point I mean I will say that where I stand in some cases is kind of mixed. I am kind of bi. Growing up with like the circumstances that I have had been under and stuff, and some of the traumas and things. I did do it. I might even be like non-binary because I kind of just explored the situation. I don't consider myself a female, nor do I wear anything that's feminine, but I did explore the fact of being with another guy. I mean, I've explored that, so, but I'm not really, I don't consider myself a female or, dressed as a female, but I've explored that whole situation, so, I mean, I know that there are some guys I'm attracted to and some other, like the feminine type guys. I'm not a big fem type guy, but obviously a masculine guy like myself is going to have somebody a little bit more feminine or etc. Otherwise, maybe two masculines might not work, but who knows. But anyways, at this point, I do believe we need better border control. I believe we need better border control. I'm not saying that people from other countries shouldn't come to America. They should do so legally and with the proper documents. But letting all these immigrants in here and all these undocumented immigrants in here and them crossing the border and people coming to America kind of causing crimes and stuff in New York and stuff is not good. It's not good. And not only that, we're giving them extra. I'm pretty pissed at Connecticut, because Connecticut's given all these undocumented immigrants and things basically free health care, when really it should be going to the people out in the streets that are homeless. We got people out in the streets that are homeless, veterans and people who fought for this country, out in the streets starving, that really should be placed on some type of assistance and some type of get some type of shelter, before I really see anybody else from another country doing it. Not that I'm saying we should forego people from another country, but they need to come here legally. And that whole situation where people breaking through the border and coming here and causing all these kind of chaos is just not what America needs, especially right now. I mean, I think there was a time where people were welcome to America, like the Italians and things, but I think it was done so was very legally, or for the most part was done legally, where people came and were documented. But for the most part, though, I don't think right now within history this whole situation with immigration is really something that is doing very well. I don't know. I'm against cancel culture. I've come to realize I'm against cancel culture. I'm for free speech. I'm for due process. I'm for free speech. I'm against cancel culture. So, I'm a free thinker. And I mean that pisses people off, because I've gotten into that conversation before online where I watched one of the liberal celebrities, which I've had a crush on since I've watched her. But I watched one of these liberal celebrities named Francesca Ramsey basically go off on a Republican and do this little skit like she's playing the ukulele, saying, "Oh, I didn't expect the leopards to eat my face," or something shit like that. But it's like that with the liberals and the Democrats too. You can say something that is for them, but then you can also say something that they might not totally be for, and the next thing you know, they're jumping down your throat because they act like you fully don't fit their views, and you're like the baddest person in the world. That particular Republican happened to say she's pro-choice, or for pro-choice, and that pretty much pissed off some of the Republicans, and some of the Republicans did not give her opportunities and things like that. And it's very similar to what's going on in Torrington for me. I'm trying to speak my mind, and I have my opinions on different things, and people are getting mad at me because they don't, I'm trying to do so respectfully, and I've always said I'm trying to do it respectfully, even though I may not agree with everybody, and some people are still not taking that respectfully, and some people are not really handling it respectfully, and I've kind of had to walk away, and I've kind of brought some different things up to other people and other publishers and stuff, and there's a lot of issues about what people think between, what's going on in Torrington and myself and my mental health, which people may or may not be concerned about, which, somebody's trying to trigger my mental health. Somebody's trying to trigger my mental health. I'm not saying my mental health's in jeopardy, but somebody's trying to make me paranoid and trigger my mental health, or make me paranoid to the point that I would, in a mental health way, would lose a lot of my, my supporting artists and etc. Which is not what I'm really, not really big on. And in a way, I might have already lost two publishers. One publisher I almost wanted a romantic relationship with, and her and her friend, now take jobs for the state of Connecticut, with a program that is kind of affiliated with mine and kind of works with mine. It's a health center that works for classes and stuff that's affiliated with mine. So there's a lot of issues about them becoming my staff members and possibly working with me and etc. because they've taken jobs for the actual thing, and there's a lot of issues. I mean, there were a lot of issues in the past that had made me leave some of my programming here in Torrington. Some of the programming that they wanted to give me, I had to leave some of it because of bullying and etc. And some of it was over another person that was supposed to be treated like a staff member. So they're not going to care. Certain people are going to try to buddy up with that person, and then they're going to make me look like a fool because I don't want to get into it, but it's a huge thing where people buddied up and caused a lot of, a lot of issues. But regardless, I'm very much changing in my views of where I was probably liberal wise. I kind of hung out with the liberals. I've kind of hung out with the Democrats, but I'm kind of changing my views a little bit of where I stand with them because I've come to learn as I get older, I don't fully agree with certain things, and there were a lot of, disagreements, and people didn't really like the way I was supporting certain things, like Black Lives Matter and etc., that I was kind of, threatened for, possibly believing a little bit differently about interracial relationships, yet I was still trying to be liberal or Democratic and still say Black Lives Matter, but yet I believe in interracial relationships, and people were jumping down my throat because I can't love a black woman for whatever reason, so, but, things like that just get people stirred up, and then people want to egg me on and start chaos and drama and fights over the internet. It happened with the Hartford's cultural group, which, which the people who took the jobs for the mental health agency, basically are we're friends with, as I had a lot of mutual friends of multiple people, mutual friends from this person and mutual friends from that person, and I have like over 1,015 friends, 1,500 friends. 1,500 friends I had on my Facebook, and some people were just mutual and stuff because I'm trying to make connections. I'm trying to reach out to people and would like to interact a lot with a lot more people. I would like to interact with a lot more people and talk to a lot more artists and stuff. Like to talk to a lot more artists and interact with a lot more people to really build connections and build, relationships and things, It's kind of why I kind of befriended a lot of artists, because I'm an artist, I'm a poet, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, and I really want to connect with other people like that. So, I had to defriend a bunch of people like that, unfortunately, because of what's going on and etc., and try to keep my peace of mind, because I have talked to people, and all it really has is given these really negative and toxic responses, and the way they kind of responded back and how they kind of put their feelings in the response that wasn't really good. So I've been kind of picky about having keeping certain people on my page, but regardless, I am doing all right. It's just that when I bring up the issue that I'm trying to find, resolve to, which was done so anonymously. It was like an anonymous complaint that the cops were coming to my door, and somebody was like going to send the cops to my door, because somebody was worried about my mental health, or somebody wanted to start worrying about my mental health. So then there was a big problem, which happened over the pandemic. It's been years since this has happened, but I'm still trying to figure out who did that, because it's kind of preventing me and other artists from going forward. It's preventing me and other artists from going forward because it happened during the pandemic. There wasn't a lot going on. A lot of things were shut down and etc., and there wasn't as much going on as people want to try to kind of bring up or put back in society now, when things are more freely to do so. So obviously, I don't take cops very well. I mean, I want to get a sticker from my door, because I just did a video basically on the fact that I'm hearing impaired and I'm also autistic, and I think the cops need to know that before they come busting in here and thinking they can give me directions and things, and I can actually hear them and stuff. I mean, I know there's different things for people that are hearing impaired and stuff too, that you can put stuff on people, put stuff on your door that says, oh, this person's hearing impaired, or this person's, so the cops at least know before they get here that, this person actually is hearing impaired and has a hearing problem and is autistic, and, so, I mean, I am going to look out for myself in that way. I don't know if I need to get it from the insurance company or what, but I know there is something you can put on your door that says that. At least I hope there is, but really, this is more not really a thing about, my struggles with local, but I'm kind of combining two videos, basically. I'm combining two videos because I wanted to kind of talk about it, but I kind of wanted to more talk about politics and where I'm standing right now, which is causing a lot of fights with people. It's causing a lot of fights and a lot of differences because I kind of want to believe what they believe, but I believe a little bit differently, and these differences of opinion are causing a lot of issues because I don't believe exactly what people think I need to believe in. So there's a lot of issues when it comes to social and cultural matters and stuff that are causing a lot of issues for me as an artist and an individual. I'm not trying to say I'm taking after Joseph Arthur. Some people are like, oh, you're taking after Joseph Arthur. I mean, in some ways I can care less about Joseph Arthur. I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, he has his moments, and I think he's actually written stuff about, written stuff that I think sometimes makes me wonder, what he's actually talking about. But I mean, some of his stuff's good. Some of his stuff's actually really good, but I'm not really trying to take after Joseph Arthur. I'm getting older, and I know a lot of the people around me. That's the other thing too. I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian. Whether I do like tarot cards, which I do actually do tarot cards and have oracle cards, but I am more Christian based. I believe I have a relationship. I want to have a relationship with God. I believe in Jesus. I am Christian based. I mean, I grew up kind of in and out of conservative church as my mom basically tried to drag me to when I was younger. When she had me home, she used to drag me to in and out of a conservative church and about that lifestyle. But I am still Christian based. I choose to be, not because of my mom, not because of what people tell me, because I still want to believe in a God and a higher power. I know right now the Christians and people are being looked down upon, especially with all the New Age and all this cultural stuff and all these things that are pushing the black community and stuff. That people are looking down on Christianity and stuff like we are the bad guys and etc. But I can still kind of adapt to a little bit of the New Age beliefs. I mean, people are gonna look down on me because I'm doing that too, but regardless, Christians right now got a bad rap with society because some of it has to do with all the cultural push and the push for, all the cultural stuff, basically based off of the black and Hispanic community that's basically, pushing society right now and the newer generation to go towards what it goes towards. So Christians are kind of being persecuted and mocked by, the new generation. I mean, especially if you're an older generation, which I am an older generation I am an older generational person. I mean, I'm not yet like where my ancestors are or where my older relatives and friends are, but I am older than some of these new millennial people going around screaming Black Lives Matter, thinking they know everything about, society and life, and they're still in high school or whatever, and thinking they can just change the country and stuff in the world, And people can, but I mean, there's still older generations and people like elders that people should look up to and respect, and some of the newer generation doesn't even believe in that. Some of the newer generation doesn't believe in elderly respect and stuff like that. I mean, I've had my issues too with some elderly people, but at the end of the day, I still go down and talk to them, and I still have conversations, and at the end of the day, we learn to forgive and we move on, and we just I still get along with a lot of my neighbors and stuff, But no, I mean, I don't know who I'm voting for next election. I know my beliefs are causing a lot of issues, as beliefs do, as people, things that separate people: ideologies, politics, and religion. Ideologies, politics, and religion really do separate people, and it really causes a big conflict in the world when it comes to the belief standards and everybody's standards of where we're going and etc. I mean, this is an uncomfortable conversation for me because when people like to challenge that and I have to get into arguments and stuff, it doesn't always do my mental health right. But I'm coming out and kind of just expressing myself. This is probably going to be on YouTube again because why the fuck not, I'm sitting here by myself just kind of drinking coffee thinking to myself, what could I do? And this is a perfect time to maybe express this in a video because, obviously my art page, my art YouTube is still an art YouTube, but there's other parts and qualities of it where I do blogs and I do things about my life and etc. So it's not always about the art. Sometimes it's about the artist or, just the artist's life in general where, he's struggling or he's changing and evolving and growing, which I thought I was growing in my poetry too. I was doing it for a while there. I was attending an open mic, which I no longer attend because of cultural and different beliefs and stuff. And I had a publisher I just fell out with, and not sure if I'm getting back with her, etc. Over differences of opinions, basically about the struggles between those other people with cultural and political beliefs. But I'm at the point now where there's a lot of cultural and political beliefs, and people don't feel like I should have the right to believe what I believe in or the right to say what I say. But this is America. We all have different opinions. We all have different beliefs, and that's what makes America, America, obviously there's cultures and different, classes and creeds that we could all learn from and, learn to respect and, etc. I just went to that lady's book talk from Iran the other day, and she was very insightful about the Iranian culture. She was very insightful about what she had to struggle with to get out of Iran and, the revolutionary government in Iran and all that stuff that she had to, overcome to come to America to become an architect and etc. and write her book. There was a lot of story behind that and a lot of promise and stuff. Just hearing her, ancestral, lineage and, being passed down to, people and hearing about it. So I do respect culture. It's not like I don't respect culture, but I don't like the woke movement. I can care less about the woke movement. I can care less I can honestly care less about Black Lives Matter. Obviously I kind of got blacklisted because of Black Lives Matter with the arts, and had a lot of fallouts between friends and etc. So I'm also not black. And when I went to support Black Lives Matter, after buying all these T-shirts and flags and books and just doing the research on Black Lives Matter and trying to get involved in the cultural stuff when the time came, I was threatened. I was called a race traitor for liking black women. I'm really, I can go on and on about it, but I don't want to, I want to make this a griping video, but regardless, it kind of changed my perspective on the fact of why I would want to support Black Lives Matter, and if I do. So, I say I support the black community, but I think the things behind Black Lives Matter, there's still a lot of agendas and a lot of things that want to be pushed. I think there's agendas in everything. That's why that's why I think I'm unaffiliated, because I realize there's agendas and people have agendas and these secret things and everything where people say one thing, but they really want to push this agenda or this code to really, make society feel the way it is and stuff like that, But, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion on things. People can love it or hate it, can take it the way it is, but I'm not going to come online and say too much because I think my phone's going to die soon. So I just wanted to come online and say this and just speak my mind and just let you know, a little bit where I stand. But who am I voting for next election? Am I going to vote? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really want to be around the politicians that stand around, the voting polls. I just kind of want to vote and get the hell out of there. But if I can vote from home, I would do so. But anyways, just a little bit about my situation. I'm a free thinker. I'm a free thinker. I'm not really Democrat, Republican, or liberal. People can be free thinkers with me. People can judge me because they're liberal or Democrat or whatever, but I'm kind of a free thinker. I'm not going to say I'm, Republican. I might, post things that are Republican if it really is important enough, or, is I feel like it's going to hold some type of truth or, goals towards my, what I would like to see for the country. But neither side really holds everything true to, what I would like to see for the country or myself. Like I'm bi, no Republican's going to like a guy that's, bi or, or at least, open enough to explore, a relationship with another guy, There's a lot of taboo and, just like the black community. You can't like a black guy or a black girl because, you're white, or, so anyways, just wanted to get that off my chest. My phone's going to die soon. I need to go. I'm going to drink more coffee. I might go downstairs and stop downstairs for a minute. There's something else I got to do. But yeah, I just got to get out of the house for a few minutes. But yeah, alrighty.